Hi, Cancer. I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. You may have the past knocking at your door. This may feel unwelcome when it happens. I'm definitely getting something like that. It's like someone from your past returns or tries to talk to you. But I'm seeing this be an energy that you're not particularly trying to be around or trying to have a conversation with, because you're focusing on yourself. It looks like you're creating something, you're making something. This does not have to be anything wild. Like, it doesn't need to mean that you're writing a book, although for some of you, you can be. There's a sense of working on yourself and asking yourself questions like, do I feel empowered in this situation? Do I feel supported by this person? Do I feel motivated to work on this? Am I working on this because I feel obligated or I actually want to? How you're spending your time, how you're spending your energy. So we're starting off with the Empress. For some of you, this can be related to wanting to start a family, take the next step in a relationship. For others of you, this is about your creative energy. It's like, how do you want to be taking care of yourself? For some of you too, you're spending more time with friends, or you're even creating a support group or people that you enjoy being around. Ooh, for some of you, you may be going somewhere. There may be some type of celebration. That's exciting. I feel like you've been focusing so much on yourself and on things that allow you to feel good about yourself. And like really been putting in the effort. To see the Magician next to the Empress here. So this is about like you living in your light, you living in your truth, and doing things that are like just for you, that allow you to feel good. So it's like, do it for you, not for anybody else. Even though it may affect other people or like your connections with other people, there's a sense of being like so focused on yourself and feeling maybe even replenished. I'm hearing that word. Replenished. And now I'm seeing there be people you're around, and there's definitely a lot of love for these people, or there's some place that you're going to where you're going to feel supported. Some celebration, some type of gathering. When I was meditating on the energy, I was hearing pride. So maybe some like festival or a parade that you're going to even. So exciting. I'm just seeing you feel very much in your energy and very much in alignment. So it seems like whatever you've been doing, it seems like the focus has been shifted, because I remember last week in the reading, Cancer, there was a sense of like really struggling with a lot of things, and although we're constantly like figuring things out, sorting things out, struggling here, maybe not struggling in another place, there's a sense of like in you focusing more on yourself here rather than other people, you're feeling better about things. I am seeing the five of swords pop out. In relation to the Ace of Cups, you may still feel some blocks when it comes to like you sharing love, you spreading love, maybe at times. Maybe also you're still feeling a bit protective of your energy too. Maybe you also feel like you're having maybe deliberately not letting your guard down to connect with other people as a means of self-preservation more than anything. But maybe you're also getting tired of this. Maybe you're ready to open up and connect more than you had been. What I'm getting a very clear message here. You may have been like opening yourself up to other people, and maybe because of a lack of boundaries, there's a sense of like feeling like you may have nothing left for yourself. And so I'm seeing that there was a need for you to kind of step back and like really focus on yourself and what you needed, and kind of close yourself off to the energies of other people. And it seems like because you've had this time to reconnect with yourself, you may be thinking about opening up, but you're still trying to figure out like where and when that's appropriate, who that's appropriate to do that with, so you don't get like run down as you had been before or feeling depleted, because I'm hearing replenished again. So definitely these steps that you've been taking have been like about you and for yourself. So now there's a question about like which energies you're around, and maybe this has also made it more clear to you which energies you want to be like more protective and aware of yourself and your energy when you're around certain people, and who you can kind of be more at ease with. It feels like you're kind of stepping into this section now, because you still may be a little bit unsure about like assessing everyone around you right now. Maybe you're still feeling a bit guarded in general. It seems too like you being closed off. I'm hearing the word frigid. You being closed off, maybe something that you go a little bit overboard with sometimes, but again, it's like for yourself. It's like maybe where you could get vulnerable with someone you don't, or you're like worried about being taken advantage of, so you may come across in an energy that's very much like do not cross this at all. But you also then don't allow people that genuinely want to connect with you and connections that you would actually enjoy, like you don't allow that segue to be happening. So there's a sense of like wanting to discriminate between like who you can be soft and gentle with and who it feels good to connect with, and then where you want to have that line of protecting your energy. And this is too about knowing that you may have different boundaries for different people as well, because every connection, every relationship is different. The Empress can also speak on working on a project or something creative that you are like nourishing and taking care of right now, and something that's going to eventually like be produced or come to fruition. Just as it can be like pregnant with a child, it can also be like pregnant with an idea or manifestation that you're like taking care of right now. Because I'm seeing there be some type of crossroads, a next step that you're going to be taking, something that you're putting a lot of thought into. You may even be wondering if you're ready for something. This can be about the time you've been taking for yourself. You may be thinking about whether or not you kind of like want to come out of hermit mode. When we enter into hermit mode, it's a time where we feel like we need to collect ourselves. And so you may kind of like unplug, disconnect. You need to like check in with yourself rather than other people around you. You could have actually disconnected from multiple people. This is what I'm seeing here. So it can be like family members, friends, like people that you would socialize with. There's a sense of having backed off from your connections with these people. I'm looking at Libra, Virgo, and Pluto here. And I am seeing this connected with the Magician, so it can be like you may have cut off or lessened communication that you had with people, but there's a sense of there's a sense of wondering whether or not you're ready to reconnect. This may too be one of those moments where you felt like you needed to really close down your social circle, and now you're thinking about opening back up, or you're figuring out who you want to be connecting with. I'm seeing too that something could have been going on where this can always be an aspect of yourself where there was someone emotionally on a different page than you are, and there's a sense of like not being able to like properly communicate with this person because of this. I'm seeing like you and another person have very different styles about like how you enter into a space, more so emotionally than anything. And there's a sense of like things not computing with this person, and that could have been part of the reason why you shut down a little bit. Maybe also you feel at times like your energy is more like free flowy and less guarded, and you don't feel like you're like you have other people around you that are within that energy. Maybe you feel like people around you are judgmental because of the way that you do things. And maybe you also do things impulsively sometimes too, and you feel like there's a sense of judgment because of that. And that could have also been another reason why you kind of backed up from some people around you. Because maybe you were feeling like passionate about something, or you just like have your own way and style of doing things, and you felt like people were like being judgmental of the way that you were doing something, and so it ended up having an effect on you where you were feeling guarded. Let's get further, because I'm seeing too, you may also be like reflecting on your behavior and being like, well, why do I do this sometimes, why do I do that sometimes, like is this something that I want to keep doing? Or is this an energy I want to keep allowing into my life? Because remember, energies can always be reversed. I always see it as being like an aspect of ourselves that's somehow reflected in an external experience that we're having. Um, but yeah, always reverse the energies if that makes sense for you in your experience. Okay, so for some of you, there's a next step that you're going to be taking in a relationship that you have, but you're trying to figure out what that's going to look like for you and what that means for you. For some of you, too, it may be affecting your finances or your job. For some of you, there's something that you've been addressing in relation to your identity and really thinking about this and reviewing this and thinking about like what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to create for yourself. I'm seeing it be related to like how you make money or a career, a role, a responsibility. For some of you, there's a sense of like even recreating your public persona in a way or your career identity. Really thinking about this a lot. For some of you, this can even be like um, switching an activity that you'd been doing, or switching a focus, changing something, changing focuses even, job wise. Or yeah, it can just be like recreating yourself, figuring out how you want to build upon what you've already been building. But I'm seeing it all be related around like identity and responsibilities that you have. Also, who you want to be working with and who it makes sense to you to be working with. For those of you that this is a relationship, this is about like you reflecting on somebody that you do share finances with, and also like what people you want to be around too, because it looks like there's some weeding out that's happening as well. It looks like things are going to, it looks like the next step that you're taking, things are going to feel more harmonious for you, but this may be like in an individual sector of your life. Because I'm seeing this more so be about like you as an individual rather than a relation, rather than an interpersonal relationship that you have. Like, the focus is kind of on, like, you and your identity and what you're developing and what you're building and what you're focusing on, how you're taking care of yourself, who you want to be around, who you don't want to be around, what you want to be spending your time doing. It seems too like there's more of a focus on like you doing things more intuitively or feeling more in touch with yourself, feeling more in rhythm with yourself, I'm hearing specifically. Intuitively, it looks like you knew or you know that something is coming, something to be weary of. This is an energy or a situation where as soon as you energetically come into contact with this thing, you know that it may be like an unhealthy or an unsafe situation. I'm gonna get another card to see what this is about specifically. Because I'm seeing it almost be like something where potentially you could like be hurt or threatened or something like that. And this can be like energetically, emotionally, psychologically. It's like you already know this prior to going into a situation or prior to interacting with someone. Because I'm seeing the High Priestess next to it. Wow, I'm seeing a tower. The thing about this is that, like, usually the tower is meant to be some sort of surprise, but I'm seeing you almost like predict something before it happens, which is really interesting. It's like you already know that this thing is, yeah, you already know that this is going to happen before it happens with the High Priestess here. Like, you may have a premonition or just like a knowing about something, but I'm seeing you like full know something. Pretty much, like, not even before anybody else does, but before this thing actually even happens. I'm seeing it be related to you and another person, something that's going on in someone's life. So a tower is coming, but as I said before, it's not a surprise. You already know that this is happening. A tower is kind of like a big shakeup that happens, or things that you've been building towards kind of all fall apart or fall down, or a relationship, I'm hearing is recycled, maybe for some of you. But it can mean like a big breakup or something like that that happens. But yeah, whatever this is for you specifically, whatever I'm hearing karmic event, I'm seeing that you know about this beforehand, before it happens. So pay attention to the messages that you're getting, pay attention to your intuition, because it seems like in you being like on the same page as yourself, there's a lot going on that you are perceptive to. All right, so zodiac wise, I'm looking at Venus, Mercury, Virgo, Libra. I am hearing Gemini, Pluto, the Moon, and Mars. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.